This is why the Cleveland Cavaliers are so good right now. Watch Darius Garland on the first play of the game. He goes to screen for Okoro, and then Okoro goes to screen for him. The reason why they have that in their offense is because of Kenny Atkinson, who coached under Steve Kerr, who is coaching against. And if you look at Proverbs 1:5, it says, "Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance." Now that means that Kenny Atkinson is a wise man from learning from the things that Steve Kerr incorporated into the Warriors that have allowed them to be undefeated. Now, if we go back to this play, what's going to now happen is Darius Garland got the switch onto Steph and has an angle to the middle. But if you look at Evan Mobley on that weak side, Draymond Green is up the line, so Evan Mobley could see his backside. And if you're a basketball player, that means you should cut. Garland reads that, hits him on that cut, and they're playing unselfish basketball, creating angles because of what Kenny Atkinson has incorporated. Look at Donovan Mitchell's head. The entire time he's looking at the weak side because he knows that when he drives, Stephen Curry's going to pull in because that's his responsibility defensively. So his first look after the spin is straight to Steph to see if he pulled in. And since he did, Mitchell's going to look to get the ball to Okoro. But Okoro's still in that deep corner. So now Okoro has to lift up to that wing to get a passing lane so that Mitchell could get the ball over to him, Steph could have a longer closeout, and he could get an open three. And that right there exemplifies knowledge and unselfishness because Donovan Mitchell knew the defense is a game plan and used it against them and turned it now into wisdom. And he always sought his teammates before himself by reading the help before he went. The reason why a team may not have the most talent but is still more successful is because every individual plays their role. And if you look at 1 Corinthians chapter 12 verses 25 through 26, it says, "So that there should be no division in the body, but that its parts should have equal concern for each other. If one part suffers, every part suffers with it. If one part is honored, every part rejoices with it." In a team dynamic in sports, that means if everybody does what they need to do, there will be joy because everybody will be succeeding, everybody will be improving, and there will be winning. But if you don't, you will suffer. But let's look at this play for the Cavs and look at Evan Mobley on the weak side. Defensively, he's best at protecting the rim. That's his role. So what happens after Wiggins is able to beat Allen and beat Mitchell off the dribble? Allen's there to clean it up and get that block. Right now on offense, right, you got Allen trailing the play. So that means that somebody has to run the rim. So now that's Mobley, who's usually the 4, and the 5 usually runs the rim. But he's going to cover it this time. And as a result, ball gets thrown over to the opposite side. Draymond has to step up, and he leaves Mobley wide open. He gets rewarded for his efforts. But remember, have you been looking for the best deals to watch your favorite teams and artists? Great thing, today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app, and as a matter of fact, it's the easiest to use. All you gotta do is open up your phone, download the app, enter your location, and it shows everything nearby that you need. Artists, teams, categories, training events, you name it, it's there on SeatGeek. And when you buy your tickets, they take every ticket across the web and put it in one place to make sure you get the best deal. And each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10. So look for the green dots, which mean good, and the red dots mean bad. And you know I had to come through for you guys, so use code DOR for $20 off your tickets. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code DOR. Make sure you click the link in the description and download the app. When you step out of a role, the team will suffer. So now we got Evan Mobley bringing the ball down the floor, and notice who picks up on him. Draymond Green, right? Draymond Green we know is a good defender. He's great at playing positions and can guard going backwards. So Evan Mobley decides to go and attack him. No passes, no nothing. Draymond plays spots, plays straight up, and he turns it over, right? Not to say that he should never bring the ball up, but you must be wise. Proverbs 21:5 says the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. So now if we look at this next play, you've got to be able to learn from these decisions, these past decisions, and compare them with the times that it does work. Because now Mobley has Jackson Davis on him. Jackson Davis is not the defender that Draymond Green is. He's not as experienced as Draymond Green is. So now we could attack him in transition, no hesitation, hit him with some in and outs, and ends up getting fouled and getting to the line. The word deception oftentimes has a bad connotation to it, but it could be done righteously, as we see in Joshua chapter 2 verses 4-6 with Rahab. And it says, "But the woman had taken the two men and hidden them. And she said, True, the men came to me, but I did not know where they were from. And when the gate was about to be closed at dark, the men went out. I do not know where the men went. Pursue them quickly, for you will overtake them. But she had brought them up to the roof and hid them with the stalks of flax that she had laid in order on the roof." In this story, Rahab committed righteous deception by hiding the two Israelite spies who came into the land of Jericho to scope out the promised land that God was going to give to them and that he was going to take from the hands of those who were wicked. So that was a righteous act of deception. Now in basketball, we also see other forms of righteous deception. So we got Darius Garland coming off the screen to the right, getting Steph off of him. So now we can get Buddy Hield. So now if you look at Steph, he didn't switch underneath Okoro. So now Darius Garland is going to deceive Buddy Hield by changing his pace, hanging his dribble, using his eyes. So now Buddy Hield's hands go up. And now he can bounce past that around to Okoro. And now Okoro to Allen. And now Allen is able to get this two and they score. But now you're probably thinking, we're scoring so we could win because I want to win. So essentially, couldn't me deceiving somebody be selfish because I'm trying to win? Well, you got to examine your heart when it comes down to that. And this is a recent breakthrough I had in the game of basketball, which is seeing why exactly do you play the game? Do you play it for validation? Do you play it so you can be better than the person in front of you? Do you play the game for reasons that are external? Are you playing the game to compare yourself with other people? Are you playing it for an identity? Or are you playing the game to further grow yourself internally, spiritually, and onto the glory of God and your mission and purpose in building his kingdom? What are you playing the game for? That's what you really got to ask yourself. And now we also got to take a look at Galatians 6:4-5. Each one should test their own actions. Then they can take pride in themselves alone without comparing themselves to someone else, for each one should carry their own load. Now, you probably heard the word pride in that verse. It said they can take pride in themselves alone. But there's extents to pride. You could take a pride in giving the glory to God and walking your own walk. Or you could take pride in having an ego and boasting yourself. But there's a healthy level of pride which can be had in simply finding content and joy in the purpose that God has you here for. So when it comes down to basketball, you got to really look at your root. Are you playing just for validation? Are you playing out of comparison? Or are you playing for your spiritual growth and onto the glory of God? Really ask yourself that question. And now before you go do what you do next, ask yourself this other question. Discipline or regret? You choose.